to find some lighting in this place. I think I moved you about 5 times before I actually decided to intro the video. Anyway, I'm introing the video in my PJs today. Why? Because I'm off work. I have been off work for the last 6 or 7 days because a machine went on fire. So I got a couple of days off and I was not complaining. But anyway, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Olivia and I am a bikini competitor, online health and fitness coach, and also a bikini and wellness posing coach. That is always such a mouthful. I need to get that recorded. Anyway, welcome back to another video. So today things are going to be a little bit different. I want to talk about something I haven't really talked about yet on the channel. Obviously, you know what I do, you know what I don't do, you know what I take, what I don't take, but how much does this lifestyle actually cost? So that is something I want to break down. In today's video, I'm going to take you through my day, more or less, because I've already done a couple of bits. I'll show you in a second. I'm going to take you through the day and we're just going to break it up into different topics, and we're going to talk about the prices of those things, how much they can cost, how much they cost me. Is there any way to maybe reduce those costs, or are there just costs that cannot be avoided? So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're also going to do a grand total at the end of the video, so make sure you do stay tuned and stay to the end of the video. Before I even get into the video, I have a little request to make. There is a lot of you here that are watching my videos but are not subscribed to the channel. So before we get into the video, make sure you do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my future videos, and just support the channel. Make sure to like, comment, share with a friend, and let's get into it. So as I said, I'm going to bring you through my day to kind of break it up, and I'm also going to do a little off-season update. So first, yes, I'm in my PJs, but I am somewhat put together. I've actually prepped like all of my food today already. So I've prepped the staples, so like rice, veg, potatoes, beef, chicken, my oats, and like that's for a couple of days. So what I'm gonna do when I get back from the gym, I'm actually gonna put them into meals because I am working for the rest of the week, so I need to have my meals prepped. So that's what I'm gonna do with these. So I decided to just get up in the morning, get things cooked, and then go about my day, and then come back and put the meals together, because otherwise I'd be cooking for 2 hours straight and I really don't want to do that. But this will just make sure I'm literally prepped until Friday. Today's Monday. It is Monday the 30th of September. So a couple of things happening this week, definitely. Today's my check-in date. This is why I've already got my feedback, so this is why I want to do like an off-season update with you. So I'll do that when I'm having my pre-workout or my post-workout meal. We'll see how we get on. And a lot of things happen this week. I'm launching an 8-week Christmas challenge that will be going live probably first week of October, so I do want to announce it today and just get some people signed up. I have a client doing a photo shoot this week, so obviously hands on deck, client and peak week. A couple of posing clients, and I am doing something with my dad this weekend, so I just need to make sure I'm organized for that as well. And yeah, just a regular week in the life. That's why I didn't really even pick up the camera when I was off, because nothing crazy was happening. I was just allowing my body a little bit of sleep and still going about my normal meal routine, gym routine, and all of that gym girl shit. So yeah, who's this? It's my coach actually. We're discussing our Olympia plans and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna put my pre-workout meal together now, because I am going to go and smash some legs. So I had an off-plan meal last night. I had a beautiful toasty and a beautiful cookie, which I can insert somewhere here. It was delicious, but it's time to put those calories to use and hit some legs today. Today is normally upper body, but I just want to put that cookie to use and just shift it to the glutes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to train legs today, and it just makes my week a lot easier as well, because it's a day off. I got a bit more sleep, I'm refreshed, regenerated, so it's a good opportunity to actually get legs smashed out today. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's just put my pre-workout meal together, and then I'm going to sit down with you and we are going to discuss the first topic of the video, which I still don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be my off-season update, or are we going to dive straight into the costs of being a bodybuilder and an athlete? You're just going to have to wait and see. So I'm going to bring you into the bedroom today, and I won't be too loud because John is literally working behind this wall there and he's on a call right now, so we're not going to talk too loud. But anyway, I've decided we're going to dive straight into the topic of the video. And we're going to go straight into some costs of being a bodybuilder. Because listen, we all know at this point, sorry, I'm looking for the notes because I have notes on my phone. I did them yesterday as to what I want to talk about, just so I don't miss anything. And I have the mounts already in my phone as well, so it just saves me having to think during the video. So we all know being a bodybuilder, being an athlete of any sort really, is not cheap. And most of us out there, unless you're the top of the top competing at the Olympia, winning the Olympias, you're not going to have many sponsors. You might have a couple of companies that maybe help you out a little bit, which I will talk about companies that help me a little bit, but I do not have sponsors. I pay for everything out of my wages that I get from my full-time job, and also the work I do as a coach and a posing coach. So mainly I try to pay for my bodybuilding expenses from my coaching income, and I try to leave my normal wages to pay for life, rent, electricity, bills, car, insurance, all of that jazz. So I do try to keep it separate, obviously still trying to put money away for prep and things like that, but that is also fairly difficult because, as I said, being a bodybuilder is expensive. And when you think about it, and my boyfriend and I talked about this a while ago, I think bodybuilding is one of the most expensive sports out there because you're a bodybuilder 24/7. You're spending money on these things every single day. Okay, I'm not going to say what because we're going to get into it now. So first things first, obviously, as an athlete, as a competitor, you rarely see people that do not have a coach. So that is usually expense number one. Now, this can vary a lot. There's some coaches out there that are a bit cheaper than others. There are coaches out there that charge a crazy amount. So I just took a little bit of an average here for just UK mainly coaches, Ireland UK coaches, coaching amateurs to the pro level, also coaching pros. So we are roughly speaking 200 to 400 euro. So when I'm doing my total at the end of the video, I'll probably just take an average of that. So probably about 300, let's say average. But you are generally speaking 200 to 400 euro on average, and that is per month. So obviously the yearly cost of that is fairly high. It's going to be way over 2,000 euro. Now everything's going to be in euros here. I'm not great with pounds or dollars, so we're just going to speak euros here because that's the currency that I operate on. So obviously expense number one will always be your coach. Speaking monthly, 200 to 400 euro. I'm not going to say exactly how much I spend on my coach because that's a little bit personal, and I know my coach doesn't really put his prices out there in the world either. You don't get a price until you inquire, until you send in all your information. So we're just going to say 200 to 400 euro a month. Now, cost number two would probably be your groceries. You eat every day. As a bodybuilder, you tend to eat sometimes a lot more, no, sometimes a lot less. But on average, like, my food sources don't really change throughout the year, whether I'm in prep or I'm in my off season. Obviously the amounts change, and sometimes the bills are a little bit higher when I'm on higher food because I just have to buy bigger quantities. But on average, between my weekly shop that I do on a Friday, with the little bits that I might have to go back and buy during the week, and chicken that I buy every second week because my boyfriend and I alternate. We alternate every second week. We buy a big 5 kilo box of chicken. We freeze it, portion it, blah, blah, blah. You know all that by now. So let's say it is a week that I'm buying the chicken. My usual groceries equate to about 80 euro on a Friday. I will probably spend another 20, let's say, during the week picking up bits and bobs, usually some fresh fruit or veg. So that's already 120, let's say. Plus, if it is the week for me to be buying chicken, which is about 35 euro, we are speaking what? So let's say 100 euro plus the chicken. That's about 135 euro a week. So that is a week. So you're speaking over 400 euro a month on just food. So we're going to leave it at that. These are the first two things, and probably the most important, because this is where the majority of your progress is going to come from. It's going to come from the protocols that your coach gives you to the food that you're eating, because obviously that makes up about 80% of your success, and that is your diet. Whether you're a competitor, whether you're just somebody into fitness trying to take care of your health, the majority of your progress is going to come from your diet. So obviously that is one of the expenses that take priority. So your coach and your groceries. So Speaking of coaches, by the way, it's nearly October. It is the 30th of September. If you are looking to take things into your own hands, this is the time to be reaching out to me. This is the time to be putting your head down and getting the work done ahead of the new year, get ahead of your resolutions. And you know, they say this is where the bikini body is made, and that is true. Also, just like I said a couple of minutes back, I am going to be running an 8-week Christmas shred, so make sure you do check out my Instagram. I'll pop the post up here, but I will be announcing it this week, so make sure you do go and check that out, because the intake for clients will probably stop about midway through October to allow me to get everybody set up for the end of October. So yeah, so I'm gonna eat my pre-workout meal now, which is jasmine rice, 85 grams jasmine rice, 60 grams of chicken, 40 grams of banana, 20 grams of almond butter. Today is a leg day, as I already mentioned, so food is a little bit on the higher side. I was going to do a full day of eating this week because I was predicting a food bump that I have been promised for the last 3 weeks now, but it still hasn't happened because my body is just responding really well to the food I'm on. So you know what they say, if it's not broken, don't change it. So we're still on the same food. So I'm still eating the same meals that I did in my last full day of eating like a month ago. We actually haven't changed food in 8 weeks, which I will touch on when I do my off-season update with you after the gym. But now I just want to get this meal in, do my hair, change because I'm still in my pajamas, and go and smash a leg session. Not bringing the camera to the gym, but I will be bringing my phone obviously because I take clips for Kuba in every session. So I might just insert a couple of clips into the vlog from my phone. So I'll see you after the gym today. Kids, grab your coffee. We're gonna talk some things through. Just got back from the gym like 40 minutes ago, and I always think it's such a good idea to go training early on a day off because then I'm gonna have so much time to do everything. But I've just been sat on the couch for 40 minutes, absolutely wiped out. So that's legs for you. I think I inserted some clips from the session. I imagine I did. I hope I did. Unless I couldn't get them up on my computer, which sometimes happens because I have a Microsoft computer and an Apple iPhone, so you know how that goes. But I'll try my best to have them in there. So let's kind of go to the next kind of pointer in our little list involving the cost of bodybuilding. And obviously, to be a bodybuilder, we covered you need a coach and you need a pretty decent diet, which can be expensive. But where are you going to do your bodybuilding? In a gym. You need a gym membership. Obviously, that is another monthly cost that comes into play. And I'm just looking here what I wrote down. So that is really dependent where you go to the gym. If you're in a leisure centre, bodybuilding gym, or if you're trying to Badooz in Dubai, which obviously I'm not even going to involve the cost of that gym in this. My kind of average here would be 50 to 100 euro a month. Now, I have to say I am very lucky. I do not pay membership. My gym is amazing to me and they let me train in there for free. But taking an example of my gym, they charge 60 a month. So 50 to 100. Now, next thing. Now, this kind of covers the basics. So you've got your coach, you've got your food, you've got your supplements, which I think I covered. I didn't. Okay, I didn't cover supplements. So this covers your baseline. You've got your coach, your gym, and your food. Then obviously you need to supplement your diet, because if you're really serious about being a bodybuilder, you want to make sure your health is on point. You want to make sure your markers are all in check and better. Supplements do come into play because it is physically impossible to get every single micronutrient out of your diet without eating thousands of calories. So naturally we are going to have to supplement our diets. So I did do a video a couple of weeks back taking you through what I take. So you can hop back to that video and have a look what supplements I do actually take. But like, just to kind of give you a brief insight, it's going to be your staples: creatine, glutamine, a vitamin C, your workout carbs, whey protein isolate in my case, which is 70 quid a month alone. And then come in all the pills like a Vital Support, Love Heart, Cure Coming, Ensure, Omega. So talking supplements, me personally, taking all of that into account, some things are a monthly supply, some things last me 5 or 6 weeks. Rarely anything lasts me more than that. So we are talking about €350 a month on just supplements. And by supplements, I just mean supplements. I don't mean assistance, I just mean supplements. Yeah. So we are already at a hefty total. I'm just gonna give a quick little run through. So coach, we said what, like 200 to 400. So let's take 300. Gym, 60. Groceries, what did we say, about 120 a week. So that's by 4. Plus 350 for supplements. We're already on 1,190. That's your coach, your gym, your food, and your supplements for a month. Wow. I did say it's not cheap, didn't I? So, yeah, that kind of covers the most important things, the things you really can't go without if you want to be a bodybuilder, if you want to be an athlete. If you're just a regular gym goer, these costs can be lower. For example, taking a lifestyle client, one of my clients, I don't charge €300 a month. I charge much less than that. I will not be giving you crazy supplements that you really don't need if you're not a high performance athlete. Your groceries, well, that's obviously person dependent, depending what you like to eat. And gym, yeah, that's pretty much standard. Bro, your coaching expense and your supplement expense working with me will probably be a bit lower than that. So next order of events, we're gonna have to stay here because I was gonna film in there because I have a bit of meal prep to do and things like that. You saw I cooked everything this morning, but I need to make meals out of that. But the wash machine's on, so we're gonna stay in here for a while. We're gonna enjoy a coffee, procrastinate a little longer before I get back into work in the kitchen. And then I still have a bit of client work to do, so I got my laptop here in hand, so I might do that first and then just finish the day off with my meal prep. Because I have all my food for today prepped, so it's mainly for work tomorrow that I need to prep for, so that can wait. Coffee break. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little rundown of my off season. So obviously we are into week 8 currently of me working with Kuba, week 8 of my push-up phase. Now we've 8 weeks done. This is actually week 9. So 8 weeks put down working with Kuba, working in an improvement phase. So we've made a lot of progress. I'm going to be honest, like, I can safely and confidently say I have made a lot of progress in many areas, both with my physique progress and my mindset and relationship with food and blood markers, health markers, and everything else. So just taking it into perspective here, I started with Kuba at 63 kilos, and I will pop my first check-in photo that I sent to him right here. So you'll notice obviously I was a little bit on the fluffier side. I was after my holidays, after a wedding, you know, bit of a heavy month it was. But this is where we started. Right now I am currently about 2 kilos heavier, so 2 kilos in 8 weeks, which is a fantastic rate of gain. But this is what I look like now. 2 kilos heavier and I look leaner, which is absolutely amazing. I definitely have already put on a little bit of tissue here and there. So I'm very happy with that. Most importantly, I think it's my kind of approach to training and food that has changed the most, apart from the visual progress. I've literally had 3 off-plan meals in the last 8 weeks. One of them was home cooked. One of them was perfectly tracked. So yesterday I kind of went out for the first like real off-plan meal out in 8 weeks, and it was still handled absolutely perfectly. Weight barely went up. There was no digestive issues, and I definitely put the food to use in today's leg session. So I am very happy with where my approach to off-plan eating is at the moment, and I know it's only going to get even better as we go, and I have Cuba's support and backing me up behind it all the time too. And then comes training. Training has never felt the way it feels right now. I have never trained the way I do right now, with such precision and attention to detail and intensity, and just this style of training, going from like 2 sets of everything, doing like 1 to 2 compounds per session, to having 2 hour sessions, 3 sets of everything, 3 sets of unilateral work, so each side. Tempo work being absolute key, 4 seconds eccentrics, 2 second pauses, and a lot more compound work as well. Like I have 3 leg presses a week, I have 3 hip thrusts a week, I have 3 RDLs a week, or no, sorry, I have 2 RDLs a week. So it's definitely very intense. When I first got my food from Cuba, actually, we still haven't changed food. That's another thing. 8 weeks in, and we still haven't changed food because my body is just responding so well. Like, I'm on 2,700 calories on leg days, 2,400 on upper days, 2,000 on rest days. So my average is about 2,300, which for me is high. Being 5'5" and being fairly sensitive to food a lot of the time, this is high for me, and I'm very happy with where the food is sitting. Although the first couple of weeks were tough, now we've gotten to a point where I'm starting to get a little peckish. So food should be going up next week, as he said, but we'll see, because I've been promised my food going up the last 3 weeks or so, and he keeps putting it off till next week because my body is still just gradually rising, very slowly, but still gradually rising. So we'll see. All I want is a bit of bread. That's the one thing I have really been missing in my diet. The rest of it I am so happy with. I love what I'm eating, but I really, really miss bread, and that is just my Polish roots talking. So yeah, that's pretty much been my choice of off plan. That's pretty much been my choice of off plans for the last 3 weeks. Like the first off plan we made homemade burgers with brioche buns, which are on the channel. Second off plan we had was a Nando's, and I got a pita bread with it, which is also on the channel. And then yesterday, which I just inserted a clip earlier, it was a ham and cheese toasty. So yeah, the bread craving is there, but I'm sure it'll be satisfied very soon, because he did say if we do increase food again, it will be sourdough that gets put into the plan. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But otherwise, like, other than that, I'm just so happy. I've never felt so good in an off season. I'm a bodybuilder in her off season that I could never embrace in the past because of where things went, where my relationship with food went, and how quickly I got my body weight up, intentionally, unintentionally, whatever you want to call it. So right now, being at the peak of my off season and being so confident, feeling good in my physique, getting stronger every single session, and enjoying food and being in control is just, I know to some people it's nothing, but to me it really does mean a lot to me. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at. I'll tell you how many weeks we've left of this push-up phase. I will talk about my plans going forward in a different video. Because I need to leave some suspense here as well. I'm just trying to find my timeline. So we are on to week 9 of 13 now. So we've week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 5 weeks left of this push-up before we dial it back. So yeah, definitely need to make the most of the next 5 weeks. We have a couple of things planned, which I will be taking you along with, with me. I think I completely butchered that. So yeah. Anyway, we still have a couple of things I want to talk about today when it comes to bodybuilding expenses, and obviously we'll be doing a grand total at the end. And I need to slow down when I'm speaking because I'm just messing up all my words, and it just involves a lot of editing and me getting this video out to you later than I wanted to. So yeah, we still have a couple of topics to cover, I think 2 or 3. So I'm gonna go and get some work done. I have peak week sheets not set up. I have the peak sheet set up. She's halfway through peak week, but I need to kind of schedule out the next 2 or 3 days for her because she'll be traveling. So she needs to have her meal plan and everything done. So I need to take care of that. I need to announce my 8-week coaching challenge, which I will do in a couple of minutes as well because I need to film a story for it. And I'm going to go and finish up my meal prep. So I'll probably catch you when I'm done with everything, to be honest, so we can actually just sit down again and I have a chat. I might show you my meal prep when I'm finished with this, show you what I actually bring to work and how much prep it actually involves. And yeah, so I'll catch you in a couple of hours probably. It is currently 2 p.m, so we still have a lot of the day left. So I will catch you in a couple of hours, and in the meantime, make sure you do head over to my Instagram and follow me there, name on screen. And please, 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 please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Road to 1,000 subscribers is well underway, and there will be a giveaway when I reach 1,000. So please show your girl some love. My meal prep is all done. It didn't take long because all the foods are already cooked, but I've got my 2 savoury meals for Tuesday, Wednesday at work, pre-workout for tomorrow, chicken and rice for when I get home on my rest day, got my berries, and I've also got some extra chicken, beef, rice and potato for Thursday. So I'm pretty much ready until Thursday, which is fab. One last thing that I just have to prep is my intro workouts because I'm going to go straight to the gym after work tomorrow, so I need to do that, but I'll do that alongside my evening supplements. But speaking of supplements, when I got home today, there was a beautiful, massive package waiting for me, and I was going to unbox it straight away, but I have a very bad habit of receiving packages and then procrastinating opening them, because it just means I have to get rid of the cardboard and put it all away. And I know what the package is. It's supplements that I have been missing, so they also need to be filled into my pill box. So that's also a chore in itself, but I thought I'd actually show you what I got. And that will also motivate me to actually put it all away. So we've ordered a couple of staples. Everything is from My Core Supplements. You can use code Olivia10 at Olivia, just Olivia. It'll be on screen anyway. Code Olivia to save yourself 10%. They do have free delivery over 70 as well. So I got, now some is for me, some is for John. So D3K2s, I have the 3,000 milligrams, so I can just take 2 of these. John got the 8,000 milligrams because he takes 10, so he's gonna figure that out. We still have some other ones left over that are just 2,000 I use, I think, so he's probably just gonna mix them both, but yeah. I also got Osteo Pro, and this is where the cost comes in. Like, one of these is like 50 quid, but this is just joint support. Now I do cover all of that in my supplement video, so I'm not going to dive into it. My GDAs, my Insures from Trained by JP. I have got Curcumin, which is just curcumin, which I also covered in the other video. I've got a vitamin B complex, which I just ran out of as well. I pretty much ran out of most of these, apart from Insure and Osteo Pro that were on sale, so obviously I just jumped at it to be stocked up. John also got a big cream of rice from JP as well, of course. It's actually the only brand we use for cream of rice. White chocolate coconut, which is his favorite. Mine not so much. Even though I love white chocolate and coconut, I just feel like this doesn't have as much flavor, and I need to add flavor drops to it, so I just get other flavors. I think I have I don't have the box, but I have the sticky toffee right now. It's okay. My favorite is the chocolate peanut butter cup for sure. But My Core were actually really kind to us this month and gave us a load of stuff. So they gave us the Oxy Shred. I've never had the Oxy Shred pre-workout, but I've been wanting to try it. So I think giving the energy drink a go is going to be a shout. It's passion fruit flavor. I'm probably going to save it for maybe my rest day or my next leg day. So I'll probably share it with John anyway. So I need to make sure he's home as well. Speaking of pre-workouts, I don't take stim pre-workouts at all, but John does. So we've got 3 samples. We've got 2 Optimum Nutritions, Cola and Mixed Berry, and I've got the Olymp Boogeyman, which I have tried before. It's really good if you are into pre-workouts. This is just like an electrolyte drink. I've had them before. They're very nice. They do a lot of flavors, like, you know, those love hearts and drumsticks, I think, all of those. And they also give us a protein shake, which I've never had. It is Nutrimino, strawberry. I'm not a strawberry gal. I'm a chocolate or vanilla, but John likes the strawberry, so he could probably have that with a cereal or something. Like, the whole bottle is 160 calories and 25 grams of protein, which is a lot. Now, I'm just going to shove this all in the box for now. But I will sort them out in probably a couple of minutes. But I just want to sit down and finish off what we were talking about. So, the cost of being a bodybuilder. So this just worked out really well. I'm going to bring you over to the couch because my chores for today are done, so I can actually sit down. My client is all taken care of. She has a whole peak week planned out literally for the rest of the week, and we'll just be confirming if any changes need to be made upon check-ins every day, because check-ins are every day in peak week, and her shoot is this Saturday, so I'm very, very excited. She's shooting with Stephen Black Photography. Stephen is the photographer I did my shoot with back in the day with John, so I love when people go to him, and I usually send my clients his way because he's just fantastic. Anyway, oh, excuse the backdrop. I was filming a reel. Hashtag, you're not going to stick to your diet if you don't enjoy it. I know you've heard this all over the internet, but it is true. Like, you really will not stick to your diet if you don't truly enjoy it. Full stop. Anyway, back to what we were talking about, the cost of being a bodybuilder. There is only 2 topics left that I want to cover here. Phone's dying, great. And that is, now, so we talked about health. Taking care of your body through nutrition and through supplementation. Now, how are you going to know if you're taking care of your health correctly? How are you going to know if there's any deficiencies you need to be taken care of? Or maybe you are overdosing on certain things, or maybe your diet is just lacking foods that supplement your hormones, for example, or you're lacking vitamins, etc., etc. You obviously need to get your markers checked. You need to go get your bloods done. Now, this is also a cost that varies from athlete to athlete, because if you are assisted, like myself, you are going to need to get your bloods done a little bit more regularly. Like, you're probably talking every 3 months. For a natural athlete, I would suggest at least twice a year. So that is obviously very dependent. It also depends on what your coach wants you to do, what he recommends or she. So it's very person dependent. Like, I am going to have to go a bit more now that I'm assisted, just because we just implemented testosterone. So in a couple of weeks time, I'm going to have to get my bloods done again to make sure it's working, to make sure we are at the right dose, etc., etc. If you're a heavily assisted bodybuilder, like, you know, male bodybuilders, a lot of them, you're going to have to get your bloods done like in your cruise, in your push-up, pre-push-up, post push-up, mid push-up. So there's a lot of bloods to be done. Now, the price of bloods can definitely vary. But let's say you're going every 6 months. So let's say you're just a normal athlete. You want to get your bloods done maybe before you start prep, and maybe mid-prep or towards the end of your prep. So you're going twice in the year, every 6 months or so. That's what I used to do anyway. Now, this also varies a lot. If you're going through companies like Eval, for example, in the UK, you're probably paying about £200. Which is like what, 220, 30, 40, 50, let's say 200, €200, which is a lot. I'm very lucky here. I have a very good GP who does the exact same panel for me for €80. So obviously the cost is reduced. So before you go to these big companies, even though they're so convenient with like quicker results and everything's so private and no questions asked, like my GP, the first question I get asked is, are you on steroids? So if that's what you want, if you want to go to these bigger companies that solely focus on athletes, then do. It's definitely worth the money. But if you are someone who's looking to save a little bit of money and you have no problem going to a GP, and if your GP has no problem with drawing bloods for you like this and sending you the whole panel after with the results that you can consult with your coach, then the GP is definitely a good option. For me, it works. My GP is very good. There's usually not too many questions asked, and he does a great job at getting them back to me quickly in a PDF format, so I can shoot them over to Kuba and he can analyze. So yeah, that's €80 for me, but it could go up all the way to €200. So we're just going to take like 125 to 150 as an average here. Now, lastly, and something all of you want to really hear about, because I've gotten questions in my question box on Instagram about it, but let me just grab a sip of water. Thirsty gal today. I'm not going to make a big deal out of this. I don't understand why people do. I'm not saying you have to go out there and tell everybody what stack you're on, but listen, if you're assisted, you're assisted. There is nothing wrong with being assisted. If you are serious about getting to a certain level in this sport, I am assisted. I'm not heavily assisted, but I am assisted. I'm not a natural athlete. And in order to be assisted, I need to pay for my assistance. Simple as. The costs can really vary, yet again. So I will break it down for you as to what I take and how much it is. So probably the most expensive supplement that I take would be growth hormone, which is €180 for 5 weeks, which is very expensive. I'm not happy to be spending that money. I dread that week every single time. because it is a lot of money. Like that is literally what I earn in 2 days of my normal job, just for one supplement. So GH is very, very expensive. On top of that, I have T3 and T4, which I'm usually spending about €40 on every month, let's say, combined. And sorry, that varies as well depending on what brands I have access to. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. Like the one I got last time was €40 for 2 weeks. Now I'm finally back on the one I used to have, which is like €40 for a month. So that's good. And I take less T3 than T4, so it kind of averages out as well. And then lastly, no, not lastly, there is metformin as well, which is quite cheap. It is €30 between me and John for a month, so 15. And so that's very cheap. Lastly then, Femtest, very cheap. It's about €30 for me for 3 months, something like that. So like a tenner a month, let's say. So it's very cheap. So totaling that then, let's say $245 a month. It's a lot of money altogether. So to total all of this up, being a bodybuilder is probably the most expensive sport to be in. Because I don't think I finished saying that earlier. If you're like an Olympic athlete, whatever, you're not spending as much. You're not spending as much as assistants, coaches, gyms, etc., etc. Your expenses might rise as you get to a certain season. Same for us, to be honest. Those costs are even more expensive in prep. But it is something that is year-round, 365 days a year. And those costs can't really be reduced much unless you start opting for low quality food, which will do nothing for your performance and health. Unless you start opting for very low quality supplements, which also could do more damage than good. If you start neglecting checking your health, like bloods, that's another one. If you start neglecting your physio work, that's another one. Did I talk about physio? I didn't talk about physio. Physio is another one. Obviously, we beat our bodies up. We need to get work done every now and then. So let's say you go maybe, you should be going like twice a month, ideally. So that's about €100 a month on physio. I don't go enough, I'm going to be honest, so my cost can be put down as like 50 a month. But I need to start going more because I'm putting my body through a lot in my sessions right now. And I'm feeling the effects of it. My hips are tight, my knee is sore, my back is locked up. I need to get work done, and obviously I need to pay for it. So for us, it's about €50 here a session for a 45-minute session to an hour, depending what needs to be done. So yeah, let me just grab my charger because you're about to die on me, and we are going to total all of this up. I really hope all of you are following me for like my professionalism and my setup, because it doesn't get more professional than me sitting on the ground at the edge of my bed charging one camera. It really doesn't, with no lighting. Like, I just have the blinds closed or the curtains because you'd be looking at that. It's actually really bright outside today. So let's total all of this up. I'll be doing a bit of jumping back and forth here. So going back to what we were saying. So coach, 200 to 400 a month. So we're going to do a monthly total. So let's say 300 on average. Then we are looking at supplements, about $350 a month. Now that could vary. Some months I can spend 200, some months I can spend 500. So it really, really depends. Groceries, so 100 a week more or less, plus, oh no, not 180 plus 20, let's say 120 on average. Because it really depends how much meat you're buying and stuff. So let's say 120 a week. So we're just going to go 4 times that for the monthly cost. And then gym membership, you're talking about 50 to 100. So I'm just going to say 60 because that's what our gym here is, even though I don't pay that. Physio, let's say you're going twice a month, like you should be at least. That's going to be 100 a month. This video could have been so much shorter if I just sat down and did this straight away. It wasn't, yeah. Okay, bloods. So let's say it is a month that you're going and you are going to a GP and you're just spending 100, let's say. Sometimes they do charge me more than 80 if there's something specific I need checked that's a bit more expensive to send to the lab. And okay, and assistance. So my assistance, I definitely calculated it wrong as well because, so let's say GH plus T4 and T3. plus test would be about 10, plus metformin about 15. So, are you guys ready for the total? And now keep in mind, this is just me, a little bikini athlete who eats on average 2,300 calories. So I could be spending a lot more on food if I was in, like, let's say the 3,000 calorie mark. If I was eating more foods like fish, which is more expensive, I only eat beef once a day and chicken for the other meals. So my grocery bill could be a lot higher. If I was very close to my competitive season, if I was an open bodybuilder, work would definitely need to be done every week. What else? Assistance. My assistance could be a lot higher and a lot more expensive. So those costs would be even higher then. And obviously I could be working with like an Olympic coach who charges like 1,000 a month. So yeah, that could also elevate the costs. But my total, more or less, is coming to 1,335 euro a month. That is rent. That is some people's rent. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, that's more than the rent we pay here. Now, keep in mind, this is just bodybuilding costs. This doesn't include any of my rent, my car insurance, my diesel, electricity, broadband, phone bill. What else do I spend money on? Tax, Disney Plus, Loom, my editing software. Now, just to put into perspective, my wages at work are only 300 euro more than this total here. If I wasn't coaching, if I wasn't being a posing coach, none of what I do would be possible, and not to this scale. So just as a massive thank you to you all, to all my clients, to all the people that put trust in me, because you allow me to do what I love in terms of coaching and posing, because I am truly so passionate about it. Like, I love what I do and I wish I could do it full time, and I know my day will come. I truly believe and manifested that I will be a full-time coach at some stage in my life. Right now it's still juggling 3 jobs. But you also allow me to do what I love in terms of bodybuilding. So for that I am truly and forever grateful. So, ending this video on a bit of a brighter note, forgetting about the amount we spend on this shit. But I know a lot of you do genuinely have interest in this and want to know how much do we really spend as bodybuilders. And I was gonna touch on sponsorships as well. I am not sponsored. I don't have a single sponsor. I do have 2 brands that help me a little bit, which I'll cover in literally 2 seconds. But what I want to say is that I literally pay for all of this myself. The only help that I get, and I'm going to be very honest here now, is obviously my gym. I don't pay membership. And I also get a little bit of an allowance for supplements. But unfortunately, most of the supplements that I can get through this partnership are not the brands that I would take. So they don't have any trained by JP or supplement needs and things like that. So from this kind of partnership, I only get my staples like creatine, glutamine, vitamin C's, D3s, K2s, although I even ran out of that because my dosages are so high, and I can only order every 4 months for a certain amount. So it's not a lot, but it does really go a long way. Those things like creatine, glutamine, even though they're not expensive, they really add up. And John and I kind of share that between us as well. So I only really get half of it too. But it does really help. And I'm super grateful to the guys in the warehouse gym here in Galway. Another thing is I do have a bit of a ambassador program with Prozis. So you can use my code Olivia10, shop through the link in my bio if you want to help me a little bit. But what happens in this case is I just get a couple of free products a month. I get to choose them out of a specific list. So it's usually things like clothes, free sauces, which I absolutely love, and a couple of supplements or like shakers, accessories. So I'm very grateful for that. But I also get a little bit of commission on sales done through my link. It's not a crazy amount. I actually still haven't even used my commission because I don't have enough to use it. So, you know. But it does help. It does help. Every little bit helps. And obviously, the more successful you get in this sport, the more sponsorships come alongside that. As of now, I don't have any sponsorships. I pay for all of this myself. I work very hard for it. And it's my own conscious decision to literally spend every euro of my savings on this, because investing in this is what is allowing me to work towards the dream. The Olympia dream one day. So, you know, it is worth it. Would everybody have the same opinion as me? Probably not. Definitely not. You really need to be passionate about this sport. You need to live this sport if you are willing to put all your money into it. But on this note, we are going to leave this conversation here. I really don't think I have anything else to show you today. I'd say this video is long enough anyway, with me always just talking way too much. But I know some of you do enjoy it, and I'm very grateful to have you here. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button if you want to be notified about my videos. Make sure you head over to my Instagram. I've just launched the 8-week stretch challenge, so this will be live. Now, it will be starting on the 26th of November, but obviously I will be taking in clients until about a week before. So I just make sure to have enough time to make all the plans and all of that. So you will get a chance to jump on it. So make sure you do head over to Instagram and check it out. Make sure you head over to my posing Instagram as well if you are looking to book a posing session. And if not, then that's okay. And I shall see you in my next video. Ciao!